What's up, world? What's up, good people? This is your boy Bernard Dice from Lifestyle Motivation. As always, we woke up on the wrong side of the bed. Find a reason to smile because you are blessed and highly favored at the end of the day. Let's jump into it, right? So today's topic is about relationships, right? I love giving relationship topics, or should I say relationship tips, to help build not only new relationships, but also relationships that may even be struggling, right? Because just because you've been in a relationship for a long time doesn't mean that your relationship is doing well, right? Especially the older generation. A lot of times they stay in relationships just because the sake of they seen their parents stay in those relationships, or someone told them, hey, just because you got a piece of man, stay with that man, or you got a piece of woman, stay with that woman. But times have now changed, right? To where we have to step out. We have to be more vocal. We have to pay more attention to what's going on in the relationships around us. And we also have to be more observant to our own behaviors, because a lot of times people are watching and observing us to see how we handle situations and the things that we do on a day-to-day basis that may negatively impact them. But we don't want to negatively impact them. We always want to be positive, right? Or do something that's going to point them in the right direction so their relationship can have longevity at the end of the day, right? So today's topic is about it takes two, right? So in relationships, it takes two people. So even if y'all want to say, even if you got kids or you don't have kids, but let's say for the folks that do have kids right now, right? It takes two to raise your children, right? Man and a woman, right? It takes two. Let's say if you don't have kids, right? And you just starting off in that relationship, you really don't know how to communicate. You still learning each other. At the end of the day, it takes two, right? Even if you're in an older relationship, right? And you done went through some adversity over the years, you gotta come back and you gotta relearn each other, right? And both of you all have to want that relationship at the end of the day. So for anyone that's looking for relationship tips and knowing that it takes two, how do you do that? How do you ensure that both people in the relationship are giving their all? The expectations are there, right? The accountability is there, right? The love and everything else is there, and all the things that you need is there, right? So first it starts with, and I'm gonna give you all maybe about 5-6 different things that you can use, right? First is communication, right? Communication can go both ways. It's a two-way street, two-way channel, right? Part of communication is listening. And that's the biggest thing I want any man, any woman to understand, to take from this lesson today, right? Even if you take this and apply this to the rest of your life, outside of your relationship, right? But we're gonna stick to your relationship today. Communication and listening. And when you listen, right? You need to listen, absorb it. Once you absorb what they stated, right? Don't just come back with a rebuttal just because you're in a defensive mode. If they're telling you something about how they feel, listen, absorb it. Once you absorb it, then regurgitate back. Okay, yes, I heard you, I understand. At that moment, it may not even be something that you need to fix. They may have just wanted to put it in the air so you can hear, right? It's like they say, you got two ears and one mouth. I'm gonna say that again. 2 ears and 1 mouth, right? That means you need to listen first and then speak second, right? Words of the wise, right? Words of the wise. It's like they talk about in Revelations, like in the book of the Bible, like if you don't apply wisdom to everything that you're doing, you're gonna limit yourself, right? And it may not be like that to my Bible folks, but that's what I got from it. You can do all the prayer, the worship, everything that you need to do, right? And you can still be successful. But if you apply wisdom to your relationship, and part of that wisdom is that communication, right? 2 ears, 1 mouth. It's listening, right? And then that second part of that wisdom is once you listen, then you have to put what you heard into action, right? It may not be how you would have did it previously. Things may have changed, right? But listen to communicate well, right? And not only allow things just to be on your behalf. Listen to your woman, right? The woman need to listen to the man. We're not just gonna do this man is the control of everything. No. In order for a relationship to be successful, you have to communicate well, right? Even on the days that you don't want to communicate. You communicate for understanding, right? You listen to each other, right? You do things together, right? All right, so the next thing is date and have fun, right? In relationship, when we first start off in a relationship, what do we all do? We going to get flowers, right? All the men, I'm gonna talk to you right now, you going to get flowers, right? The women, you getting dressed, you looking pretty all the single time, right? You getting your hair done, nails done, man, you staying fresh with your beard, right? You got your hair cut, you constantly shaved up, smelling good. Get back to those things, right? Just because you got in a relationship doesn't mean you stop smelling good, looking good, right? You don't stop dating just because you don't got her, right? The woman doesn't stop doing her wonderful things for you just because she don't got you. It takes two, right? So you have to continue, like the old people say, continue to do the things that it took to get her to keep her. And it's always the her, but I'm gonna switch it up today too for the women. Do what you did to get him to keep him, right? There's no more excuses. There's no more room for excuses in relationships because it takes two. It's just like making children. I'm gonna be honest. Making children, it took two people to make that baby. And your children are a blessing to you all. But do not rely on your children as the clutch to hold your relationships together. It has to be you two first. Whether that's man, woman, right? Woman, woman, man, man, I don't care, right? Whatever it is that y'all have going on, you have to put yourself first, right? And then build your relationship up. So the communication, dating and having fun, right? Doing those things that you need to do in order to better your relationship, not looking at anybody else's relationship at the end of the day, but focusing on what you need to improve yours. If you see some other things in other relationships that they are doing well, yes, please incorporate them into yours. But never be judgmental or never take the things from another person's relationship and try to apply it to yours because that situation may not work. Right? So the next thing is know your goals and be supportive of each other, right? You both may not have the same goals, but you both must be supportive of each other, right? You both must be supportive of each other in a relationship. And when you do those things, right, it always keeps the woman or the man, right? It keeps them in a place of knowing that they do have value, knowing that they do have a voice, knowing that they can pursue whatever it is that they're pursuing, right? So at the end of the day, you both have to be supportive of each other, right? And when you be supportive of each other, you show the other person that they have value in a relationship. You let them know that at the end of it, I'm gonna support you no matter whatever it is that you want to do. Whether that's that business, whether you want to work, whether that's hey, you starting a catering business. It doesn't matter, right? You open up an online business for services and support. It doesn't matter whatever it is, right? It may even be going back to school, to do something, right? Or getting a certification or a certificate. It doesn't matter. You have to make time to be supportive for your significant other. You have to, right? Don't always allow your dreams, visions, and goals to overtake theirs, right? At the same time, always be in communication, and this is where communication goes back into play. You always have to communicate what it is that you want, what it is that they want, right? And then you come to the table and discuss those things, right? Because we can all use the excuse of day-to-day life is gonna get in the way. Yes. But when day-to-day life get in the way, you still have that game plan of what it is that you want to accomplish when it comes to your relationship. And when it comes to accomplishing goals, goals may not even be a job or a business. It may be internal, which is your true relationship of how you all want to live your life, right? The things that you want to accomplish, whether that's for your home, right? For your children, right? Your finances, your credit, all that kind of stuff may be a part of those conversations, but you have to know those. You never assume, right? Something I always tell my sons as they coming up now, getting older, as it relates to a woman. You never assume. You learn and ask questions, discuss things out, right? And then the next thing is kind gestures, right? So we've had communication, dating and having fun. We have an understanding your goals and being supportive. And then the next thing is doing kind gestures. I mentioned it and touched on it a little bit earlier. Hey, every now and then go out and get some flowers. Every now and then go out and do something nice. Every now and then, or should I say always, tell your significant other that you love them. Give them a hug, give them a kiss. The smallest things is what matter the most. And I'm gonna say that again, the smallest things is what matter the most, right? Sometimes you have to show that affection, right? Sometimes you have to show that love. You can always regurgitate things out of your mouth, but if your actions are not following up with those things, then it's like you're wasting time. And we don't have no more time in life to waste, because before you know it, today is gone and tomorrow is here, right? And yesterday is already gone, right? So focus on your right now to improve your relationships, to get them to the levels of where they need to be, right? And when you do that, you're gonna live a joyous life, right? And then the last thing is to build a spiritual, godly relationship, right? And when you build that relationship, you know that when you all go through adversity as a couple, nothing or no one can break you. So that stress of the devil being on your back, hey, you know God is always gonna be there. But if you all are not together, by doing all those things and being supportive, it's gonna be easier for the devil to separate you. It's gonna be easier for something to come knocking on your door, and then you're not gonna know how to deal with it because you're gonna personally try to deal with it yourself. And when you try to fight the spiritual world by yourself, you can't do it. You gotta have God. And when you have God, He stands there in the gap for you and prevents a lot of things from coming your way. And then when you stand there in unity, right? As me and my wife always talk about, if I'm praying for one thing and she's praying for one thing, and we praying for separate things, we're not aligned. But if we get aligned, as we always are, right? We know what we're praying for, right? When I pray, hey, I'm praying about the same things that she's praying about, right? We know each other's thoughts, right? We know what each other want. And you have to get to that point in your relationship to where spiritually you're connected, right? Mentally you're connected, right?
Your goals and your dreams and your visions, they align. Even if you have a new idea, a thought, or spiritual reckoning that comes your way, you're able to put that into the universe and discuss it with your partner. Especially whether it's a business plan or whatever, you're able to discuss it and put it on the table. And then y'all come up with a game plan and a solution together, right? Being in a relationship is not about one person. And I think a lot of people lose sight of that. Even when it comes to taking care of the household, right? Those kind gestures could be cooking, cleaning, right? But do those things together. One day it may be the woman doing it, the next day it may be the man. But do those things together. If you know your man loves a cooked meal, go get him a cooked meal. If you know your woman loves, for you to cook that certain meal, cook that certain meal for her, right? But you have to share the load. And when you share the load, every time that you do it, you doing it with love. And it's just like you doing it for the first time. And you will see that smile and that embracefulness on their face, to where the love just continues to flow freely within y'all relationship and within your home. So I hope this encourages anyone and everyone, even my young people that just starting out in relationships, right? I done been through it all. But at the end of the day, if you use these relationships tips, knowing that it takes two, at the end of the day, you will be successful in your relationship. Does that mean that you will not go through ups and downs? No. But if you use these 5 to 6 topics or tips, it will help empower you to motivate your relationship to the next level and always stay at that level, right? To where nothing or no one can come in, creep in, and try to destroy the peace within your home or the peace within the relationship that you have with your significant other. So, as always, stay blessed. Continue to keep God first, and just know you too blessed to be stressed. As always, this your boy Bernard Dyson signing off from Lifestyle Motivation.